Hey guys, Josie here. Welcome to the YogaLocal podcast. This is a platform for us to share, reflect, look ahead, and we're looking ahead to next month. So May's coming around very quickly, and we're going to be shifting our emphasis from be still to find meaning. And these themes in and of themselves are, part of what we do to help you guys expand your kind of understanding of practice and why we practice, to increase your knowledge base, to give you that insight behind some of the concepts and teachings that underpin a yoga practice. It comes back, I think, to me, I love this month, Find Meaning, because I think it comes back to my background as a journalist. And I was never really cut out, if I'm honest, to be a journalist. I just didn't have the cut and thrust and that kind of, killer instinct. But I did have the curiosity, and I did have that desire to understand and find meaning and find answers, and not just take things on face value. And, that kind of carries with me no matter what I do, and it carried forward into my yoga practice. And I've always kind of been driven by this need to understand more, like, what is the why? Why do we do this? The answers didn't come straight away, if I'm honest, and it's kind of through this tenacious part of me that just always looks for a little bit more, that now I feel I have the answers, and gives me that grounding to really move you guys forward in your practice. Finding meaning in what we do is what's going to up level your experience. It's what's going to give you that passion for your practice. It's what's going to get you onto your mat every day. We need a strong why, right? There's so many distractions in our life. We need a strong why to get up, show up, and do this work, which is, required of us daily. If we're really going to extract the nectar from practice, this is something we're going to have to really commit to eventually. I mean, maybe you're not ready for a daily practice now, but the more that you find the why, the more that it just becomes a non-negotiable. So I want to explore next month about why we practice the way we practice here specifically, because as I've mentioned many times, I think there's a lot of confusion now, unfortunately, about what a yoga practice is. But we practice here for, the way we practice here is all about mastering our energy, or managing our energy, directing our energy, the pran, and mastering our mind. And with those two things, that's how we can start to master our life. Okay, so if we've got good energy, if we've got substantial reserves, if we're lit up, if we're joyful, and our mind is in the right place, right? There's really nothing that we can't do, and that's kind of like what yoga is offering. It's like, move into your best sense of self, master your mind, master your energy. Unfortunately, that's not what is being offered in many yoga classes these days. Again, I'll keep saying it. It's unfortunate, but my experience initially, and I'm not sure, has it been yours, is that when you've gone to yoga classes here in the West, modern day yoga classes are very, very focused on strength and flexibility and the physical aspects of practice, which is good. We need that. That's a grounding, but it's only going to take you so far. And I used to wonder, like, everyone's doing yoga, everyone's practicing yoga. There's this yoga community out there, but I wasn't really feeling that there was many kind of, we're not all coming out of the yoga studio enlightened. I didn't see these people translating their practice into something that was supporting their life. Yeah, maybe they were getting stronger, better, being able to get in a handstand or touch their toes. But yoga's got that bigger promise, right? Move into the best version of yourself, where there's less suffering, and more joy and more potential. And it's, it's just like this kind of nagging feeling. It's like, they're like, yeah, okay, but something's missing. And do you know what was missing? And it was the tradition. And honoring the tradition, honoring the teachings, honoring the blueprint. Everything's become fragmented. I think, this is reflected of many things in life, actually. We kind of try and extract nuggets, but in doing so, we lose the whole. It's like whole food, right? We process food and it loses its nourishment. We process yoga, we lose its nourishment. We start fragmenting it, dissecting it, offering it in this way, offering it that way. And it's I understand it's a way of making it more commercial. It's a way of trying to make it more relatable. But in doing so, we lose the magic, and therefore we lose the benefits. And suddenly we end up with a practice that is no longer serving us. And in fact, it can be not only not serving us, it can be setting us back on our path, because a lot of the time it's just fueling our imbalances, fueling our ego desires to achieve a particular posture, to be able to perform, to be able to put something on Instagram and go, look at me. And that then perpetuates this whole, that yoga is about image, and that's a shame. That's a real shame. So anyway, I don't want to go down that path. That's for some, but here, that's not what we do. Meaning here, and it's been a journey to get to that place where, right, yes, I have the map. I've got the tradition behind me. Now we can start to really practice in a really meaningful way, because we have the map, we have the roadmap, we follow the teachings, we practice in a way that the teachings have set out over thousands of years, and then we start to move forward. Then we start to get delivered into not just more health in our bodies, more energy, start to get much more control of our mind, become more resilient. But in time, we're actually starting to move ourselves into an energy field that is like the energy field of all things, and it's where the teachings live. It's where the ancient sages kind of birthed these teachings in the first place, that knowledge, that wisdom, which is something that was achieved, ultimately by the ancient sages in samadhi, through deep states of meditation. And these practices are helping to guide us towards that wisdom and knowledge, and also to prepare us for it, okay? To prepare us for that level of wisdom, we need to be strong, we need to be resilient, we don't want our mind all over the place. Power in the wrong hands is dangerous, as my yoga teacher tells us quite often. So the practice is systematic, it's scientific, it moves us forward in a very sustainable way. And that gives us real, true meaning as to why we're showing up now. Why are we working in this particular practice now? How does this relate to my experience now? How is it moving me forward? How does it make me feel? It's such an incredible, tradition, and my meaning, what pushes me, what kind of is giving me that inner drive is to revere that tradition and bring it to you guys and help you to understand it and help you to find your meaning, to help you find that that drive to get up every day and take some time, right? Plug into that, be still, lesson, right? Be still, witness, notice, and start to move your energy and your mind in a direction that's going to serve you. So how does that bring us into what we're doing next month? Well, next month is all going to be about increasing your understanding of energy, the different energies that are at play within us, around us, how we master those energies through different practices, through different postures. The postures are there as tools to explore these energies and build these energies, cultivate these energies, and then ultimately to direct them to help us manage life circumstances. So we'll be going through Apana, which is our grounding energy, descending energy responsible for elimination. Samana, which is our balancing energy, equalizing, helps us to assimilate and extract nourishment, but also eliminate waste. Works very much in tandem with Apana energy. We're going to move into Pran. Pran is the energy that is both energizing and also takes our awareness inwards. It's very internalizing. It helps us to move beyond the external and bring our practice into a much deeper, subtler space. Vayanu, which is an energy that is expansive, takes us outside of our restrictions. It's an expansive energy that helps us to grow. And then Udana energy, which is this upward, moving things up, lifting ourselves up, lifting our level of self from little self to big self, right? To accelerate our sense of self to beyond what the space that we're currently hanging out in. And there's a lot of work with the energy and the mind mastery that starts to dissolve some of the obstacles that get in the way of us from claiming our full potential, claiming our inner strength, claiming our inner power. We'll be going through those in relation to finding meaning of why we're in practice. Why are we working with this energy? Why are we working with this posture? How does this make me feel? And then also in some of the more in some of our practices, we'll be also introducing you to some of you already introduced to, but if you've not, Kumbhaka, breath retentions. So again, how we hold our energy, contain our energy, and also maybe some mudras. So that's what we're going to be working with as part of our asana practice, as a part of how we're going to explore this theme of finding meaning. But we're also going to just start to revere the tradition as this underpinning part of practice. It's at the heart of practice. And to honor that tradition, honor that blueprint, and bring a little bit of not just the, it's great having the why and the science and this posture creates this energetic effect, but but also to expand ourselves into that place where it becomes more intuitive. We bring in the feeling, we bring in the emotion. If we don't bring our whole self, if we don't bring that level of commitment in terms of being completely open to explore then we will stay in our limited sense of self. So it's really a wholehearted, I'm all in, I'm ready to embrace this. But I understand that we have to get ourselves there, right? No one kind of jumps straight in, or maybe some people do, but it's just about revering the tradition really, and using the heart of that, using all the stories and the tales that may seem a little bit far out, and bringing some life to them, bringing some meaning to them into your heart, into your experience, into your practice. And just kind of like, be ready to move out of the gimmicks and the trends and the idea that, yoga is just about relaxing, having a good stretch. Maybe, you've got a bad back. Yoga will help all those things. And that might be the meaning that brings you in. But let's expand our level of meaning. Let's educate ourselves. Let's open ourselves up to feeling in all those kind of more subtle experiences that we kind of dismiss in the modern day. Intuition, that our gut feeling, our empathy, our compassion, all those kind of things are things to start to be the seasoning to your practice and start to give it better flavor. And the tastier it gets, the more you're going to want to do it. So I hope that explains what we're doing, and gives you a little bit of excitement for getting to expand your level of understanding of what practice is and get to find your meaning within that. If you've got questions, I encourage you to please ask in the comments. Let's get this chat going. Your questions will probably be someone else's questions. We're a community here, and we're a year old. The app, the YogaLocal app, where our community is hanging out, is a year old, and it's for you. Ultimately, it's for you to get the maximum out of practice and being in this community as possible. So I encourage you to chat between each other. Don't just kind of talk to me, talk to each other. Share your wisdom, share your confusion, and that way we all kind of start to level up and take our experiences to a whole new level. And I'm excited to do that with you. So have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in class or next week on the podcast. Bye for now.